Gracias a todos los que están conectados hoy. Son las 7 en punto, 7 de mayo. Cumplimos 7 meses del 7 de octubre. Aquí estoy con Carmit Bazak y con Tamar Bazak.
Hola.
I'm going to switch to English so that we can all be on the same page and talk the same language. I just said that it's 7 o'clock, it's May 7th, it's 7 months since that terrible October 7th, the day that Guy went to heaven.
Yeah.
It is an honor to have you here. Thank you so much for coming to my home, to my studio.
Thank you to host us.
And thank you to everyone who is joining us from the magic world of Instagram and beyond, because then we are going to share this in YouTube and other platforms. So we're gathering here to honor Guy and to honor all of the people that survived and are held hostage still, 234 days, and those who were not lucky enough to survive. I would like to start by sharing how we met. And this was exactly 7 days, not 7, 8, because it was last Monday. And I call it bashert. It's a Yiddish word. I'm Ashkenazi, and it means be'ashgacha. It means destiny. That's what my grandma used to tell me. It's your bashert. And thank you, Liat. I see your. We have also Liat here if you would like to say hi to the camera. It's very emotional, but it was bashert that we're here together. Last Monday, I had a pretty important event that I had been preparing for months, and I needed to go downtown. I was all dressed up, and my friend Eva sent me a message the night before. It's my birthday tomorrow. I'm meeting a lot of friends at this cafe, which is very much in trend right now. It's called Cafe Landwehr, and it's Israeli. And if you want to come, to say happy birthday. So I said, okay, I'll just go for a quick hug, 10 minutes, and I'll go to my work event. I go there, and I see this group of the birthday girl and her sister and other people talking to Tamar. And since they know what I do, they know about my platform, that I have been very activist with all of this subject about Israel, they told me like, oh, come, you have to meet this girl. So we greeted each other, and he told me, yes, my brother is Guy Bazak, and he died on October 7th, and Tamara gave me this sticker, which I read very quickly, and I saw Nafal Bekerev Bekibbutz Kisufim. And I read, the moment that I read Kisufim, immediately my family came to mind. Because my cousin, Liav, and his wife, Mayan, and their 4 kids lived in Kisufim. They have been 7 months living in a hotel in the Dead Sea. And all of their community from Kisufim, all of the survivors, have been in a hotel since then. So when I read Kisufim, what was my reaction? I was like, oh my God. And I don't know, we hugged each other. Yeah. It's like this immediate feeling of we're connected. Like the fact that your brother was there and my family was there, it makes us all family. And then I saw you sitting beside in the table, and it was an immediate connection. We started talking, and I remember that, and it makes me want to cry again. When you told me about your son, and I told you that I'm so sorry. There's not enough words to say that you're sorry about what happened and losing a son. So I just said, until when are you in Miami? I would love to share this story. I would love to host you, and now it all feels like family. So here we are. Yeah. And I would like to start by asking you about Guy on October 7th. Okay. How was it?
Wow. October 7th started at 6 a.m. I was at home with my husband and Tamar's sister, Adi, my little one. She's 13 years old. And we suddenly started to hear the siren. And then we need to go immediately to safe room. And my husband also served in the army, so he wears his uniform and
headed straight up north.
yeah,
That's where his job in the military is.
because he's afraid that the Hezbollah in the north will start also to shoot. So he went to the north. I stayed at home with my little one. Tamar, she was at Ashdod. It's a city
In the
in
south
the
of
south.
Israel.
right next to Gaza.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really close to Gaza.
And I was alone. And after a few seconds, Tamar called me, and she said, "Mom, I had text with Guy. He said you cannot imagine what happened now here in the south. So many bombs, and would you like to say to tell?"
I woke up with the alarms because I was there, and then I immediately asked Guy. I told him, "Hi, what's going on?" And he just told me, "Good morning," and I was like, "Good morning. What is this?" And he said, "You won't believe it. Like the ground is shaking." And asked him what's happening. Like why is that?
Was he at the base?
Yeah, he was at the base, and when I was talking to him, he was in the shelter, because they thought it's only missiles. So I asked him why they started shooting at 6 in the morning.
So many.
Yeah,
It's not
and
typically-
he said that they all thought that like something happened an hour before, and he thought that it's a reaction to what happened. And then I wrote him one last message, I don't remember, and that was when he was last seen, like 6:50 in the morning.
6:50.
Yeah, Guy, he served in the Golani Brigade. So his position was in a base named Kisufim because it's next to the kibbutz Kisufim. And after a few minutes that they were in the shelter, in the safe room shelter, and they went back to their room to get the uniform and all the equipment, the helmet and the vest and everything. And they started to hear shooting in the kibbutz. So they said, okay, we need to go straight to the kibbutz to defend all the residents there.
And it was at 7 in the morning. Like 10 minutes after we texted, they just got up, went to the kibbutz with no commanders.
There wasn't like a leader that told them you have to go. It was they by themselves who decided.
It was Guy and another 3 or 4 soldiers, simple soldiers, and they knew a hole in the fence that surrounded the base. So he
Between
told
the kibbutz and the base.
Yeah, so he told his friends, "Come over, I know this hole, please come after me." And they went through the hole and ran into the middle of the kibbutz and then started to fight against so many terrorists you cannot imagine. Guy was the first one that shot the first terrorist that came into the kibbutz.
All of these details, because they're his friends.
His
We
friends
told you
and
all
my husband,
We gathered like
pieces
piece
of
piece
the
by
puzzle.
yeah, because like no one knew because it was so like
chaos at that
Chaos.
day.
It was chaos.
Yeah.
Of course.
Nobody knew anything. My husband in the north is in the military.
Sorry. Okay.
So my husband in the north is in the military, and I asked him, it's not possible that you cannot connect anyone in the south and to speak and to reach Guy and to understand what happened there. He said, Carmit, you cannot imagine what's happening. Nobody knows anything. Such a chaos, huge balagan, we say in Hebrew.
They say fauda, right?
Yeah, it's fauda.
People know it from the TV series.
Yeah.
Right? It means balagan, it
Yeah.
means chaos,
Big
desastre.
chaos, yeah. So all day long, I kept sending text to Guy. Please, Guy, be careful, be focused. I know you're fighting just now. It's not like how do you call the game that you used to play?
Fortnite.
It's not Fortnite. It's real.
It's not a video game, it's real life, so be careful.
And all day long, I kept sending him the messages.
Do you know if he saw them?
No,
What?
he didn't.
He didn't see
No,
those
I
messages?
didn't see any of them. The cell phone was in his room, and
In the base?
yeah,
He left the cell phone in the
yeah, 12 midnight. Between 7 and 8, I sent him the last message, and I told him, Guy, I cannot stand it anymore. I'm looking for you all day long. I keep, listening about so many stories that killed and that one is injured, and this in now after an operation. I don't know anything about you. Please, I'm going to sleep a little bit. Please call me.
I remember
And
calling hospitals to check if maybe he's there.
someone saw him, or
Maybe he got
You were
hurt.
still in Ashdod? Or
Yeah.
did you return with your family?
And then I was in Ashdod, and then like at noon they called me also for Milim,
Wow.
and I do Milim in the north also. So she came to get me. Yeah.
That day?
That's
yeah.
October 7th at
Yeah.
noon.
Yeah.
I
And
cannot
they told
imagine all
us-
the stress.
They told us, in the TV and radio, don't go out from home. Terrorists outside, no matter where are you in Israel, don't go outside. But I knew she needed to go up to the north, so how come? So I took
and it
my
was
car.
Shabbat. There's
Yeah.
There's no
nothing.
public transportation.
Yeah.
So I took the car and I drove an hour, something like that, to Ashdod. I pick her up and then go back home. She wear her uniform and continue to her base in the north. And 9 p.m. My husband came to her base. And
11.
Oh, I'm sorry. 11. So she saw him, and she was happy. Oh, Dad, what are you doing here?
And then he told me.
Continue.
He came to tell you the news?
Yeah. He came to tell me, and then we drove back home for like 2.5 hours because it's so hard. And then we went to tell her, and my grandparents were there too. So
I was at
having
home.
fun.
So as I said, 12, I said the last message, and 45 minutes after, I heard someone knocking on the door. And your life, in that moment, finish.
Yeah, I can feel it. Was it someone from the army that came to?
No,
To
it was
visit.
me and Dad.
Hmm?
She, Dad,
Mm.
my husband, my brother, his son, and my parents were with me. They came at evening. And suddenly I heard my mom scream, but because it's very, fortunately, it's very common in Israel. They knock on the door, it's
In
kind of
times
symbol.
in times of war and stuff, you know what that knock means, and it's always bad.
So I heard my mom scream, no, go away. I'm not gonna open the door for you. Please go away. Because she knew. And then we saw my husband there and the officers from the army, and that's it. And now we need to learn, like a baby, everything from the beginning. How to scroll, how to walk, how to cook, how to speak. Everything
How
is
to
so
live.
how to live from the beginning.
You have to start all over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
What has kept you strong since that day?
I think for me it was like all the family and friends that were with us, and getting to know Guy's friends from the army and from home. it's like he's like still with us because he has like a piece of him in every one of them. So I think for me that they were there all the time, it made it more bearable than what it could have been.
Did they go visit you through the Shiva?
Yeah,
Were
they
you
were-
able to
They
speak
were
Shiva
there from
7 days?
7 in the morning till midnight,
Yeah.
maybe more.
Actually, we sit not Shiva 7 days. We sit 10 days because it took 3-4 days to bury Guy because they had
Yeah, it was
so
very
many,
hard.
you know.
I know, it was very hard to recover the bodies, and it
then-
happened the same with my uncle Moshe.
Yeah.
It was a whole chaos.
Yeah.
But I would like to go back to what you were saying, that Guy left a little piece of him and his magic and his tikkun, his purpose in each one of his friends. And you just said that he was a leader. Like he's the one who said, "Let's go." I know this whole. He was like very smart and creative.
Yeah.
Can you tell a little bit more about all
That
these things that you
was,
learned from him on that day and through his career in the military?
Guy was very, very charismatic boy since he was a little child. You know, everyone goes after him. He was a leader in the scouts. He's so, he loved to travel in the desert in Israel and always friends with him. He organized everything. He organized parties. He hosts his friends, so many friends all over Israel. He's funny, he's creative, he's so clever. And all of his friends, whoever knew him ever came to be with us during the Shiva and after.
And it's like everyone said like a different thing about Guy, but they all said like the same things. Like he's brave, he's a leader, he's creative, he's funny, like everything. And we always knew that because he was like that at home too. He was like the leader and like he was making the jokes and everything.
He
like,
always did what he wanted. He wasn't influenced by anything, anybody.
He had a strong personality,
Yeah.
and he wouldn't like follow
Yeah.
the trends or whatever
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
other people were saying. He was the middle child, and
Yeah.
he was the only boy, so
Yeah.
he was the prince of the house, right? I want to share this photo
Yeah.
because I want to share with the people who are watching and those who follow and are part of the community of Tikkun Talks. There are people who are Jewish and who have been to Israel or have family in Israel and know about what it means to be a soldier in such a country, and people who are not that familiarized. And very unluckily, and I can't find the words, like it's a tragedy that the media and everything that's happening around are demonizing the Israeli army and the Israeli soldiers. And they're just kids, like you, like me, like that play Fortnite, that have to go through a rigorous training and just to defend our country and our people. That's the reality. And this is a very important picture because I don't know if there's someone from Argentina looking here. When babies are born, they put the Boca or River t-shirt because it's like you're labeled for your life, you're going to be part of this. It's something bigger than you. Yeah. And in Israel, when kids are born, it's the army, it's the
They
unit.
breathe, I'm just kidding, it's like I breastfeed Guy, milk and army, Yeah, this is it. This is our situation in Israel. Yeah. Because who else can do it?
So your husband is also a Golani?
He was the commander of the same unit that Guy was in
Yeah.
when he got killed. Yeah.
Can you please explain what it means to be a Golani
Wow.
and why he wore, this is his dad's
Yeah.
Yeah.
hat.
Beret, I don't know how to call
What is
it.
the hat?
Kumta.
The kumsam.
Yeah.
So ever since he was little,
Yeah.
he dreamt about being a Golani.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and what it means to be part of the Golani unit?
I think it's like you said, it's like a soccer team that you're a part of,
You're a big fan.
and like the people surrounding you, you all have like the same goal, and you're all
Thank you.
and you're all there for one purpose, and like every unit has its own like stuff, but Golani it's a mix of like all of the community in Israel. Like you have their
Different people.
different
from,
people. Like
from
you meet
different-
there everyone, and it's like
Ashkenaz and Sephardi, North, South.
Moroccan.
Yeah,
Every-
the
all
Israeli
mixed
society
together.
is so diverse.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, it's not only Jewish people.
Yeah.
20% of the Israeli society
Yeah.
are Arabs,
Yeah.
Christian and Muslim and
Wherever.
and
Bedouin.
different
Yeah.
different Jews, like different
And
cultures.
within the
Religious
Jewish
or
culture, you
not.
have the religious,
Yeah.
the non-religious, the Ashkenazi, the Sephardim. Like
Yeah.
it's so rich
Yeah.
and diverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whenever they are part of a yechida, of a unit,
They became one, you know. It's
Mhm.
one for each other, you know.
they
are
all become like
together.
brothers. It's
Brothers.
like a very special
My
feeling.
dad,
Brothers.
he still has so many friends, like brothers from the army, and it was like a long time ago, like from Golani when he first got into the army, and they're still friends because it's something like it's more powerful than
It's
you can
very-
imagine, and if you're not a part of that, you won't know it.
Yes. I know it from my cousins
Yeah.
and friends that live in Israel and they are like
Yeah.
like real Israelis. It's like even if you did the Tzabah 20, 30, 40 years
Yeah.
ago, your friends from the army
Yeah.
are your friends forever.
There is
I mean,
friends for
it's
life.
Like
Yeah. They
such a
will-
special bond
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they create.
You go with them through everything.
Yeah.
Like stuff that you won't go with friends from school or friends from like life. It's different. You go
Yes.
through, and he also wrote about it in his diary. He had a diary, and he said he talked about friendship, and that it's not measured when it's nice and happy and fun. It's measured in the hard times, when it's dark, when it's raining, when it's
When it's uncomfortable to you,
yeah.
but to do good for your friend, although it's hard for you. And we found his diary.
That's what I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
was it? The diary?
In his base. Actually, he had 2 diaries, but they found only the second one. Wow. Because in this diary we saw that he explained about the hardest day he had in the army.
In the training or where?
At the end of the training, they
What
did a
is
journey, a Masa Kumta. And
This one, right?
Yeah,
yes,
this one.
this one.
What did you
So-
write about?
That's 120 kilometers.
They,
It's cold, it's hot,
it's
it's
hard.
not fun.
And at the end of this Masa journey, the families can meet them for the last 5 kilometers to go with them, like you see here.
What does it say here in your t-shirt?
Golanchik Mileida. It
That
means
he has a
since
Golani
birth.
since he get birth. And it was amazing day. Even my mom, she's 8 years old. She went with us and she's walked with Guy 5 kilometers, 40 degrees outside. Yes.
Wow, that's
so he said in his diary, you want to say what he wrote about at the end of the day.
That this day has like every tear, every sweat, everything
Every
combined.
muscle that's
Yeah.
burned and the
Every
sweat.
every
Can you hear us? Yeah? Okay. Sorry for the interruption.
So
You were saying every tear, every sweat, everything, every part of your body.
every body ache, everything combined to this day to watch his family stand and be proud of him, and to make him a real fighter.
And he's got his father's
Yeah. And he was
kumta.
really, when my dad gave him the kumta, I was filming it, and I saw him, and he immediately cried. He was so excited to get like his father's hat.
Right.
It means a lot, you know.
It is.
His kumta is 40 years, you know.
It was
So
my
it's-
kumta also, and his cousins, and it went through so
The
much.
same kumta,
Yeah.
everyone used it. Wow, it's such an important
So,
feeling.
yeah.
It's undescribable. Like if you were not there, you
No,
wouldn't
you
understand.
can't understand
He
it.
was
But
so
thank
happy.
God we have photos. We can kind of feel it, right?
Yeah.
And make that connection. And yes, I believe it's so inspiring what you're saying. And you said that he wanted to make all of his family proud.
Yeah.
And
he did.
And of course he did. And I mean, I know there is a mix of so many feelings that you have towards Guy and towards October 7th and what happened. But I mean, I am safe to say that pride is one of the biggest ones. And he's here and he's listening to you. And kavod is respect, honor, what we can give him. I also wanted to share that it's so beautiful as we started, how we are all connected, right? I try to imagine, I close my eyes and I try to imagine Guy giving a hug to Moshe, because they both went to heaven that day. And my uncle Moshe in Kibbutz Cholit, and his grandson Liav in Kibbutz Kisufim. Like, we are down here on earth and they are up there in heaven, and we are all so connected. Like, they are together in heaven hearing us today, and then just yesterday your cousin met my cousin in Zikaron Basalon, which is like a gathering of people reunited to hear stories about the Holocaust. Just yesterday in Yom HaShoah, here's a photo. And then your husband, Yuval, knows my uncle, who is the son of Moshe, Yossi. They were together at some point in Miluim, in Golani, so it's so
small
mixed.
country.
Small world.
Small country and small.
We are all
everyone knows
one.
each other, and we're all one big family, and that's
I think
how we
that's
should keep, you know.
That's something that gives me a lot of strength. I mean, I've also been, depressed and sad and traumatized and disappointed in humanity, and it's so sad, everything that's happening to us as a people, to the Jewish people, both in Israel and in the diaspora, here in the United States, every country. But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and what gives me a lot of strength is seeing how united we are and how we all feel like family. How that day, just by the fact that someone had the dog tag.
Okay.
Thank you.
The minute, actually, the minute I met you, you know, I feel like comfortable. I feel at home here in your home. I feel very comfortable to speak about Guy, and I think the Jews, I don't know the words, you know, they need to
Be together, united.
be together, to stop fighting each other, to know it doesn't matter your, you know, opinion if you're right or left.
Yeah, we are
Please
so
remember
much
that
stronger.
day, you know.
We're so much stronger than any political opinion, than any background, that, you know, socio-economical background. We are Kol Israel, Arabim Z'L,
Yeah.
and we are all connected
One big
by this
family.
very special bond, and
This
we are
is
always responsible for each
Yeah,
other.
this is the proof.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it would have been imagined that we came to Miami and we would meet you if you're originally from Venezuela, and you would have family in Kisufim, and that's where my brother died while protecting the civilians of Kisufim, which are your family, and that we sat with your cousin just a few months ago
In
in
your
the
hotel.
Dead Sea where they live, and this yesterday.
So speaking of,
It blows my mind.
I spoke with Leah today, and he sent this message for you that I wanted to share. He says, "Hey Carmit, Tamar, and all the Bazak family, we met each other in the Dead Sea, and we were honored to get to know you and more about Guy, Zichrono Livracha. We wanted to say we are so sorry for your loss, and we want to say thank you, Guy, and all his soldier friends that helped us and other Kibbutz Kisufim members survive the most horrible day of our lives. It is so emotional, and we are so happy that you and our Miami family met each other and connected, and we all love to stay in touch. Yesterday in Yom HaShoah in Tel Aviv, we met your dad and husband when Leah told the story of his grandfather, Moshe Ridler, we just talked about this, who was murdered on October 7th in Kibbutz Cholit. And he's the only Holocaust survivor who lost his life in that horrific attack. On behalf of all the family and all Kibbutz Kisufim, we hope you and all of us will get stronger together. You know, like we were saying, it's what keeps us strong.
Wow.
Alma, Eilon, Michael, Adam, Mayan, and Leah. Thank you for being here and for opening your hearts.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you would like to add to end to a message about Guy and his tikkun and the blessing that he lives on earth?
I think like what he said, like in his diary, like to be there for each other, even when it's hard for you and if it's not comfortable for you, like to be there for the other person, because maybe they're suffering more than you and you don't know it. So just like be there and be nice to everyone.
Being kind.
Yeah, be kind.
Am echad v'lev echad.
No.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank
And
you for hosting us.
we are going to do also a Zikaron Salon, and of course we will keep in touch. Whenever you come back to Miami, you have a home, and I know that when I go to Israel,
Yeah, as well.
we will meet each other. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, and thank you everyone for joining. And thank you, Liabs.
Thank you.
I don't know how to close it.